welcome to, I normally say Thursday afternoon live, but today I'm saying welcome to Ready, Set, Print. I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up a Bambu A1 mini printer, how to use the Bambu Studio software, the settings, and how to print already designed STL files. There's been a ton of interest in this, and this time for Holiday Cookie-a-thon, I did not have time to print the kits. Normally, I send out, well, people can order the kits of all the cookie cutters, and I had a son get married. I have had so many things going on. I could not print the kits, so that I decided that, well, the next best thing would be to teach people how to use a 3D printer to print their own cookie cutters. So this class is going to be recorded. I'm going to add it to the library on the Holiday Cookie-a-thon website, Holiday Cookie-a-thon 2025. It'll be in your library when you purchase the pass on replay. I'll also be adding a bonus video on how to design your own cookie cutters from your drawings, your clip art, whatever, downloaded clip art. I'll be teaching you that as a bonus tutorial. So when you buy the Holiday Cookie-a-thon All Access Pass for $97, you're going to get about, well, there's over 50 video tutorials. There's well over 100 downloads. There's, I want to say, 70 cookie cutter STL files for you, and you get access to all the video tutorials to recreate the cookies to match these cutters. So today I'm going to be able to see your comments as we go through this. I've got 5 devices in front of me. Hopefully I don't miss anything. And it looks like Brittany is here in the background, and she's going to be helping as long as she can hang around anyway. So thank you, Brittany. Brittany is my right-hand girl, in case you don't know it. She is my virtual assistant. She is nowhere near me. She's in Georgia, and she is a huge help. She has created the whole back end of the Holiday Cookie-a-thon website for you this time, and I've been working on other things for Cookie-a-thon, and we make a really great team. So hi, Donna. Hi, Jenny. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is just talk to you about the Bambu A1 Mini. So many people don't know how to, well, they don't know a lot about 3D printers, and it scares them. It did me too at first, but I've had many 3D printers. I've tried many different software types, and I finally got comfortable after a couple of years. I had additional help from Dieter, who was always there to help me learn things, and I just had questions from time to time on my early printers, and as time has gone on, I've just mastered it, and I found the Bambu printers. They are the best. They're the fastest. They're the easiest to use, and I just love my printers. So I've got, as you can see behind me, I have 10 3D printers. These are P1Ps. I also bought an A1 Mini so I could teach you how to set it up and use it in this class. And this A1 Mini is awesome, and it's small, and it doesn't take a lot of space up, so it has a small footprint, and it's so easy to use. Let me see. Before I begin, what else did I want to tell you? Well, the things that you're going to need to 3D print, I sent, I think, 3 emails with those links. So if you're on the Cookie-a-thon, if you've registered for Cookie-a-thon, you're on the email list, you have received those things. For those of you that are going to be logging into Holiday Cookie-a-thon with the pass, every single link that I'm going to show you here is going to be listed for you so that you can open it up, you can find things easily, and you can also comment underneath the video on the website in the library, and you can ask me questions there, and I will be able to help you that way as well. So let's go straight to Chrome here, and I'm going to show you where you can get the Cookie-a-thon All Access Pass. So if you go to cookieathon.com, you're going to come to this web page, and you're going to see the beautiful cookies that our artists and instructors have prepared for you. Here's a countdown. The live event that's free in the Cookie-a-thon Facebook group is going to be November 7th and 8th. That's a Friday and a Saturday. And It's free for each day of the live. For 24 hours, you can watch the tutorials. I'm live, I want to say, and I never can tell you exactly, but between 10 and 12 hours each day, I am live in 2 sessions, and you can view those video tutorials for free each day of the live event. As you scroll down here, you're just going to see information about the event. You can register for free right here, and that puts you on our email list. We'll email you each day of the event, the links. We send an email like 4 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, and then the week of when you register. If you purchase the All Access Pass, you get all of these fantastic things just for $97. Your investment is small and your rewards are huge when you buy the All Access Pass. So you can see what you'll get there, and you can click here and purchase the pass, which will include this class plus a bonus design class on cookie cutters and a whole lot more. You're also entered to win prizes when you purchase the All Access Pass. We've got amazing prizes ready for you. These are some of the cookies and the tutorials that you're going to see. Here's our instructors, and you can click on each one of these. It'll take you to our instructor page where you can click to follow these people to go to their website. And then you're also going to be able to, right here, download the schedule for those 2 free days that are live. And you can also download the guide, which has places for you to take notes. It has information about our event. It has links and things like that. Now, the free live event is November 7th and 8th in the Cookie-a-thon Facebook group. If you want to purchase the All Access Pass, you get early access to every single tutorial and download beginning October 31st. That's this Friday on Halloween. It happens to fall on Halloween, but you'll get access to everything 1 week early before the live event. The difference in the live event and the All Access Pass is, with the All Access Pass, you get the tutorials, all the downloads. You can comment right there, ask the instructors questions underneath their videos, and you get the 1 week early access, and you have access to everything for this event that you purchase for the lifetime of Cookie-a-thon, meaning as long as Cookie-a-thon is around, which is going to be for a while, you're going to have access to all the videos and all the downloads from this event. So as you scroll on down here, you can see more photos. And this is our gingerbread house cookie decorating challenge. Those entries are due tomorrow. So if you click here, you can download the hand cutting templates or the cookie cutter STL files, print your own, decorate a gingerbread house. You'll see all the guidelines and rules there when you download this, and enter by tomorrow at midnight. Okay, here's our sponsors. I have to give them a shout out because they make all of this possible. They give away good prizes. They do commercials. They do tutorials. So thank you to all of our sponsors. When you scroll on down here, you're going to see just a little more information and more questions. You can click right here on these plus signs and get all of your questions answered. Or you can send me and Brittany an email at info@cookieathon.com, and we can answer your questions there if you don't see an answer here. All right, let's go straight on to the Bambu website. It just so happens, you guys, that Bambu started their Black Friday sale today. I had no idea. Nicole Tips told me. She's in the Colorful Cookie Club. I have a membership, the Colorful Cookie Club. She's in the Facebook group. And when I posted about this class, she said, oh, their Black Friday sale starts on the 28th. I had no idea. I am not an affiliate of Bambu, although I should be. I've sold, I want to say, probably thousands of printers for them because I use them, I talk about them, I direct people to them all the time. They do not offer an affiliate. So whenever I post links to Bambu, those are not affiliate links. However, they have an excellent printer, and I want people to get what I'm using, to get what I know works and what I love to use. So they've got a great sale going on right now. And if you go to any of these links I'm showing you, if you just search Bambu Lab, it'll pop up and you'll see their sales. They got a lot of different sales on this main page. However, I'm going to walk you through the printers and their cost and the difference in them, because that is something that people don't always understand. I never understood it at first. So I'm going to pretend like you guys don't know anything and I'm teaching you from scratch from the very beginning. So this is the Bambu Lab A1 Mini. You can see the bed size is smaller, but it's not that small. It's about 7 by 7 inches and it prints 7 inches tall. So we don't need to print 7 inches tall for our cookie cutters, but if you wanted to print something, because there's tons of free files to print, when you log into your Bambu Studio account, you'll want to maybe print some toys for your kids or something. Those are fun. This printer is very fast, very quiet, and so easy to use. People do get confused about this printer and the one with the bigger bed size and AMS. If you don't know what that means, I'm going to show you. This printer is on sale for $199, which is an excellent buy. Excellent. You cannot go wrong with this investment. If you notice right here, it says A1 Mini Combo. People get confused by that. So let me click on this one. This right here is called AMS Lite. It allows you to basically connect up to 4 different colors of filament. And you see these filament tubes that come right into the tool head here. These inlets, you can print with 4 colors. For cookie cutters, I don't print with a lot of colors. I print with 1 spool at a time and it's just fine. You do not need the AMS Lite unless you think you'll want to print with multiple colors at some point for toys or gadgets, or if you get, beyond cookie cutters. So when you see Bambu Lab A1 Mini 3D printer and the combo, see it says A1 Mini Combo includes the AMS Lite. That's what this is. AMS stands for, I had to write it down because I can't even remember. Where's it at? Automatic Material System, meaning it automatically feeds through the different colors and you can print with up to 4 colors. So I'm going to click back on this A1 Mini. The difference in cost is this is $199 without the AMS. With the combo, it's $329. So if you ever think you're going to print with colors, I would get this one. If you're not worried about it, I would just go with the Mini. It comes with everything you need. You don't need anything additional other than filament. So if you come along here, if you already have one of the A1 series printers, that's what the AMS Lite is for, the A1 series printers. It would not work with my P1P printers. This AMS Lite is only for this A1 series printers. If you just want the AMS, if you've already got an A1 series printer, you can buy this now for $179 if you've decided you want to print in color. Also, if you're an Amazon person, you can order this on Amazon. They've marked their prices down on the A1 Mini on Amazon. I don't know about the shipping from Bambu, if it's going to, be similar to this cost, but this is Prime, so it would be $249. It's $50 more. So just take into account the shipping. The combo is not less. It's $5.99 on Amazon. I just wanted to show you it is available here. I have a shop for the Colorful Cookie on Amazon that I do earn commissions, but I'm not trying to earn a commission on these. I'm just telling you, watch the pricing between the Bambu website and Amazon. And right now, Bambu has it for $199. All right, let's come over here. This is that Bambu A1 Mini. Now pay attention because I'm getting ready to switch over to the A1. This bed, remember, is 7 by 7. See this one bar right here and the bar going across here. Now when I switch, and there's a fancy term for those, but I'm not going to call them the fancy terms. I'm going to call it a bar. So I'm switching you now over to show you the difference because people ask me this all the time. They want to know what's the difference in the A1 and the A1 Mini. Well, here it is. You can see this bed is larger. It is a 10 by 10 approximately, and it prints 10 inches tall. So that's 256 millimeters by 256 by 256. In inches, it's 10 by 10 by 10. So this has 2 bars here you can see, and this bar going across. This is an axis, blah, 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 gantry, blah, blah, blah. There's lots of fancy terms. I'm just calling it a bar because we don't need to know the fancy terms for what we do. you'll see that this printer is a little bit different because the extruder down here where the filament comes out runs across this bar that is suspended on these two bars, whereas the Bambu Mini only has one bar, and it still does run across this axis right here, but your bed is smaller. It's got one bar rather than two. The larger bed comes in handy if you want to print a lot of cookie cutters. You can still print several on that 7x7 bed, but with this 10-inch bed, you can get a lot of cutters on there. Now, the A1 combo, I'm going to switch here on you. This is the AMS Lite again. You can connect this to this A1 series printer, and you can print with multiple colors if you choose. This one is $379. This one is $279 compared to the A1 Mini, which is $199 and $329. Basically, those are the differences. They both print wonderfully. They both use the filament that you need for cookie cutters, plus a lot of other filaments too. But for our purposes, for cookie cutters, I'm only speaking about what we need for cookie cutters. I'm not going to go into any other detail. It will just confuse people. So there we go. Those are the differences. And then let me come on across here. This is my Amazon shop, and I'll share the link with you. But you can see right here, this one is higher right now. Oh, they marked it down. Look, they did mark this one down to $199. These bookmarks I've had up here for a long time. So this one is lower on Amazon, and you won't have any shipping because it's Prime. So just keep that in mind. Cookie Cat filament, I have listed in here. I've only listed 3 colors, but they have a million colors. So you can order this on Amazon as well. Plus, I like Overture PLA. This is the screwdriver set you're going to be seeing me. I think I talk about it in the video. It comes in really handy if you have fingers that don't work well on those little bitty screws and little bitty hex keys. It's just so nice to have an electric screwdriver set. There's other ones on here, but I have this one and I love it. This is a clog poke, is what it's called. If you get a clog, these do work. You have to use them gently, but they do work really well if you ever get a clog. So I've got a few things here in my Amazon shop, and I'll be sharing this link with you too. Also, when you go to Cookie Cat, you guys, their filament is so fun and so cool. They've got glitter filament. They've got all kinds. They've got colors. They've got ombre. Look at these ombre colors that you can, I mean, it's like variegated yarn. So you need PLA or PETG. You're going to see PLA here. I've got it highlighted. Here's PETG. It's more heat resistant, but I tend to always go with PLA. I love it. It works. I've always used it, and that's what I like. So you can see there's glitter filament, elixir, gradient filament, ombre, all kinds of things. What you're going to look for is PLA filament 1.75. Let me just click on this one. 1.75, 1 kilogram. When you order these 1 kilogram rolls from Cookie Cat, you can use the code TheColorfulCookie and get 5% off. It is my affiliate link. It's a referral link, and you can get 5% off of your roll. And then if you click here, apparently I haven't clicked this, but you can even get 10% off. Maybe this is on your first purchase or something. But you can always use the Colorful Cookie as well and get an extra 5% off later. All right, I'm going to come over here now to the quick start guide, and I'm just going to flip through these. I'm not going to talk about all these, but I'm going to show you these. I'm going to be sharing these with you so that you can find help when you need it very quickly. So you get this quick start guide with your printer. It's very self-explanatory. This printer is so easy to set up. And then all across Bambu, you guys, they have, it's called Bambu Wiki. They have tons and tons of helpful videos and quick tutorials and troubleshooting. And that's what you're going to see across here. If you are not in the US, you don't buy from Amazon, and you can't find where to buy a Bambu printer, I'm going to share this with you. There are tons of resellers. Now, reseller doesn't mean you're buying a used printer. It just means these people sell the Bambu Lab printers like Best Buy, Matter Hackers, Micro Center. I mean, some of these places are in different countries. You can see, look at all the places they sell these printers. So nobody's left out. going on here, you definitely need to download, before you even begin, the Bambu Studio software and the Bambu Handy app for your device, iOS or Android. You can use those. You've got to have those two things actually. So I'll be sharing these links with you. I've already sent you a link to download Bambu Studio in your email if you signed up for my email list on the Colorful Cookie, but you got to choose your computer. I have a Mac, so I would download this one. Then Bambu Studio, here's an explanation of what it is and how it works, and system requirements. What kind of computer do you need if you're getting a new one? What system do you need? This is more help for Bambu Studio and explaining the toolbar and how it works, which I'm going to show you that once I show you how to assemble the printer. This is the Bambu Handy download. You can do it for your Apple device or your Android device. So pay attention to that when you're downloading. This Bambu Handy you'll need when you set up your printer. You need to have it on a device. It connects things, connects to your Wi-Fi, and you'll be setting up an account when you do all this, and it'll already be there, which makes it easier when you go to set up your printer. And then what is Bambu Handy? You can't design and make your first print from Bambu Handy. This is for your device. If I print cookie cutters on my device, later on I can go into Bambu Handy and I can send a print to my printer from Bambu Handy on my device. If I've already sent it there before, it'll be in my, what do I want to call it, archives. It'll be a previously printed file. Also, they have a huge website full of free things that you can go into, log into, and you can print things that designers have already made. And there's lots of fun things to print. So that's basically what Bambu Handy is. You don't design in Bambu Handy or send to the printer something brand new. You can send things to the printer that you've already designed and printed before, because it will be stored in your account. Then Bambu Lab support. You can see right here, they have support for all these printers. They have Facebook groups. There's help everywhere. Once you dig in and start using your printer, if you get stuck, there's lots of help. And if I've had an issue, I can help you as well. If it's something that hasn't happened to me before, I may not know how to help you, but I can direct you somewhere if I have not had, that same thing happen, which I've had a lot of things happen. Clogs, stringing, all that good stuff. So this is a guide and just information and specs. You can see right here the specs on the printer. Comparing the printers, if you wanted to compare, you can on this page, and I'll share this link with you also. Then this is the site that I was talking about where they have lots of different files. These are free to download. Now they do have some on a different page that are paid. I think it's called Maker Lab or Maker Supply. I can't remember. This is supplies, but this is Maker Lab. But a lot of their files are free, and I'll show you that when we get into the software. And I think that's it. All these links up here, you guys, I'm going to be sharing with you so you can refer back to them and know exactly what you are doing. Let me see here. All right. I'm going to go back to me. Now, I haven't been looking at your comments because I've been talking. I am going to be showing you a video that I pre-recorded for assembly of this printer. That way I can be watching your questions as they scroll by. The parts of the process I've sped up. It's super easy though. You'll have access to this replay and you'll be able to watch it again over and over. And if you have any questions, I can walk you through that too. It's very easy. And the quick start guide tells you every step to make. The screen on the printer helps you out. So you really can't fail at putting this thing together. It basically comes put together in the box. You pop it out, unpack it, and away you go after you get the software installed and know the right settings to use. So I'm going to show you the video right now. I'll be looking at the comments here. And then I will take some time to answer questions after the video, and then we'll go straight into the software and the settings that you need for Bambu Studio. Ready, set, print with Nancy. I'm going to show you how to set up your Bambu Lab A1 Mini 3D printer. What's in the box? Pull your printer out of the box. It's going to be wrapped in plastic and cardboard and have some foam in there. You're going to remove all of that you can and pull out all of the additional items that come with your printer. You've got a PTFE tube, sample filament, an accessory box, spool holder, purge wiper, an electric cord, and a quick start guide. Now let's assemble. This is everything that comes in your box except for the electric screwdriver kit, and I will share a link for that with you later. We're going to remove the temporary items that secured the printer during shipping. We're going to first find the Allen key. It's the larger one. It comes with two. There's also a smaller one in there. We're going to use the larger one, and we're going to unscrew the screws on this black piece of plastic and then remove it. And then clip this zip tie and remove any excess foam that you see around it. There's also foam in the front and the back of the printer here that's underneath the bed. We're going to remove that. Now let's lock the heat bed. You're going to see a screw on the back underneath the bed, and then there's two on the front. We need to tighten those a little bit. Do not over tighten them. Just turn them until you think that it's a little bit more snug. Not too much. Just be careful not to over tighten. There's the one on the back, and this is also the Allen key that I'm using here, the larger one. There's two on the front, one on the left and one on the right. I couldn't get to mine, so I gently laid my printer down so that I could see, and I got them tightened very quickly. But do this gently if you're going to lean your printer back. Don't over tighten, just tighten them a little bit, half a turn maybe a little bit more than that. Then set your printer back up carefully. And now we're going to install the purge wiper. Installing the purge wiper is really easy. You're going to make sure that black part is toward the front of your printer, and you're going to slip it in the groove. And then you need to find the little package that says purge wiper screw. And you're going to use your Allen key to tighten that screw to hold that purge wiper in place. I had trouble seeing mine, so I propped it up on the box for my screwdriver, and that made it much easier for me to tighten that screw up. And then you can see here it's kind of wobbling on me, but that's okay. Just get that screw in there nice and tight. Now let's install the spool holder. You're going to find the screw for the base plate. Actually, there's two screws for the base plate for the spool holder. You're going to tighten those in place, and then you're going to take the spool holder and slip it right down over that base plate, making sure it's nice and snug. Let's attach the PTFE tube and the cable clip. I removed the sticker on the top here. You don't have to do that, but read it if you do take it off. Take your PTFE tube and feed one end into the filament inlet. There's 4 little holes there. Just choose one. It doesn't matter. And then put the other side into the filament guide. Then we're going to take that little clip. It's a circular clip that came in the box. And we're going to clip the data cable into that and also clip the PTFE tube into that, just to keep everything nice and tidy. We don't want anything getting hung up anywhere. That's a sample filament. I didn't use it. I had my own roll. I put all my tools back in the little accessory box so that I wouldn't lose anything. I'm done with all the Allen keys and everything. That's your Bambu lab card. You can scan those QR codes. There's a quick start guide. Lots of helpful information is on their website. Now let's place the filament on the spool. We're going to feed the filament up into that filament tube. Make sure that your filament comes up underneath and up into that tube. Feed it all the way up in there. until you can't push it through anymore. And once you've got that done, you'll know that that filament, you can see it going through the tube and feeding down into that tool head. You want to press until you can't press anymore. Now let's plug it in and power it on. Remove the tie from around the cable cord. Say hello to my little puppy walking around back there. You're going to plug this thing into the wall. And then on the back of your printer, there's a power button. But first, there is one more sticker covering the screen. You'll want to remove that. And then around on the back, we're going to power your printer on. And we're going to unleash your creativity. Now let's move on to starting up and calibrating. We're going to tap the button on the screen, and this will walk you through some things. You need to select your language, and you'll need to select your region. And it's not too sensitive. I had to end up using my thumb to press on it. We're going to select your Wi-Fi to connect it. You should see your Wi-Fi named here. You may have to use the arrows to scroll up and down. Put in your Wi-Fi password. You can scan this QR code. It will open it in Chrome. I have the app Bambu handy downloaded on my device already. You may want to do that first. I don't know, it may prompt you to do that. I already had it on my phone. It's called Bambu Handy from the App Store. You're going to bind your printer. You're going to rename your printer if you choose to. Just type in a name for your printer right here. You can name it anything you want. And then press confirm. And this will add the printer to your account. Then we're going to go through the calibration process. And you'll see on your screen here, there'll be some prompts. You tap start. I think I went back and then answered some questions before I started calibrating, but I was logged in, so I didn't have to log into my account. That already happened. You can skip some things if you choose to, but this is very self-explanatory as you go through these screens. So just tap the buttons, and then the calibration process will begin. And it does take a little bit of time. It is not a fast process. I want to say between calibration and updating the firmware, it was maybe 25 minutes. But you'll see on your screen everything that's happening as it's calibrating. Your printer's going to make funny noises. It's going to move around all over the place. And this is all a part of the process. And your screen may actually go dark, but if you just barely tap on it, it will light up and you'll see the process again. So now it's telling me it's still working on the calibration here. It's working on vibration compensation and then auto bed leveling. So it tells you everything that it's doing as it's going through this process. And this is just a one-time thing. This doesn't happen every time you turn on the printer. It's just during setup. And there you can see my screen went dark, so I tapped on it to make it come back on again so I could see what was happening. Okay, calibration's complete. So moving on to the next step. Now you're going to be prompted to update the firmware if there is one available. You just want to tap update and let it run through the process of updating the firmware in your printer. This takes a little bit of time, and the process, it will show you the process on here and the percentage. I can't remember how long this took either, but it wasn't quick. And that could have been because of my internet speed. Yours may be faster than mine. So you just have to be patient here and wait until the progress bar goes all the way around, and it will tell you when it's finished. Don't power it off. If the screen goes dark, just tap on it and it will light back up again. Okay, it's telling us it's going to reboot. And the screen went dark, so I had to tap on it. And then it's telling me it's updated successfully. I tap the back button and go back into the settings, and it's telling me that I need to do lubricate the y-axis guide rails. I chose to do that later rather than during this video. Now let's load the filament. I'm using a roll of filament that I already had, but I'm making a clean snip on the end. I always do that, whether it's a new roll or not. I want a nice flat cut. I'm feeding it up from underneath the roll. Put that on the spool holder, feed the filament up through the filament guide into the tube, and you'll see that filament come up through the tube. You want to feed it until you can't feed it anymore. Just keep pushing it up in there. It'll come up over through the tube and down into the tool head, and just make sure you fed it as far as it will go till you feel it stop. Now we're going to press filament on your screen, and we're going to tap the word load. And then your printer is going to start heating up the nozzle. It will heat up to 250 degrees Celsius, and it will tell you what it's doing here. You'll see the numbers turn green. So it's heating the nozzle. This happens very quickly. Then it goes through these other processes here, and it's telling you to push new filament into the extruder. We've already done that, but I give it another push just in case. And then you can choose if it's been extruded, continue, or not extruded, retry. And you can see here the filament is extruding. And so I come back over here and I press filament extruded, continue. If it doesn't work, then you'll have to hit retry. But it's telling me it's purging old filament because I had printed before this, and it's purging the old filament that was in there. And the load is complete. So I tap on the screen. And by the way, here, if you want to unload your filament, you can do that as well from this same screen. So here I chose edit and I selected generic filament. You can choose your filament if you see it there. And I had fat fingers, so it was choosing different things than what I actually thought I was pressing on. But I choose PLA because that's what I use all the time. But if you're using something else, you'll want to select it there. And now you're ready to print after we get the software set up. All right, I'm going to try to switch over. I had my iPad, oh, there it is, aimed at my printer, and it went off. So, okay, I'm going to come over here to my iPad. Hopefully you'll be able to still hear me and see everything clearly. You can see this is from the Gingerbread House challenge. And then these are cutters, some of the cutters, there's 70 or more. But this is the Princess Plaque from Sweets from the Soul. And then we've got minis, and I'm showing you these so that I can show you, you know, how many fit on this 7-inch bed. I did actually go through, don't know if you can see this little tiny clip. This little bitty clip, I found it's a modification. There's lots of modifications for printers. And sorry if that's loud. Initially, what I showed you that I was clipping with, this little circular thing, this is for the AMS light to clip your filament with, but I was using it as a clip for these cables so they didn't get, you know, hung up on each other. However, there was a modification that you could print this little bitty clip. I don't know, can you see them up here? There's 4. And so they took 9 minutes to print. I'll share the link with you. And it just kind of makes it nice and neat and clips your cables together so they stay put. If you wanted to print a large cutter, this is a 5 by 3.5, so that fits on there. You know, you couldn't print both of these big cutters on here, but you could print this big one on here. You could print some minis on here with it. And this is just giving you a visual of what you'd be able to print on here. Sometimes, you guys, I'll even print cutters inside of cutters. And so I couldn't print all these on there, but I print cutters inside of cutters. You're really not, I mean, you can do that. It doesn't hurt anything. I do it all the time. But that's kind of what you, to give you an idea of what you can get on this bed. This is from Caitlin Heckenlibel's tutorial. It's like a 5-inch circle. You can see how that fits on there. So this is a pretty large size cutter. This is from Donna's tutorial. It's a Santa. And you can see, I mean, that prints on there just fine. So you can get some pretty big cutters. I want to say he's 5 inches. But this bed is 7 inches. So, you know, if you print something 6 inches, you're fine. So let me move these out of the way. What you're going to get when you get the All Access Pass, you're going to get this check sheet to check these cutters off as you print them so that you can make sure you have the ones you want, or if you have them all, you'll have this check sheet to help you. And I forgot to mention that when you purchase the All Access Pass, you guys can't see me, but here I am. When you purchase the All Access Pass, you get a month free in the Colorful Cookie Club. You get access to all the tutorials, and there are hundreds to show you how to design cookie cutters and stencils and printables, tags, toppers, all that good stuff. So when you're getting ready to print on your printer, you always want to make sure you clean your bed. I have just like a drop of alcohol in here and water. Sometimes I'll put a teeny drop of Dawn, and I just spray that and wipe it off, because a lot of times if you have a cutter that does not adhere to the bed, your bed is dirty, it has dust on it, or it has oils from your fingers. Because when you have a cutter on here and you go to take it off, your hand might touch it. If you have lotion on or whatever, your bed it's not going to adhere well. So make sure you clean your bed once in a while. This is that clog poke I was talking about. And there's videos on how to use this, but I wouldn't worry about this unless you start getting clogs. I would say my most common clog issue has been when filament gets hung up and twisted on the reel. Sometimes if you leave filament on here, I would suggest, if you're not going to print every day, that you take off your filament, put it back in the bag it came in so that it stays nice and dry, because when moisture gets in there, it's going to cause problems and your filament will break off and you'll end up with a clog. So yeah, that's just one of the issues. Hopefully you don't run into that. If you ask for help and follow the directions here, you'll be able to avoid that. This is the A1 Mini Quick Start Guide that comes with your printer. It walks you through everything on how to set it up. This is a Get Started QR code you can scan. So definitely scan these if you need some help. This was all that came in the bag. Remember I said I skipped the part on lubricating the axes. That's what that is for, those two things. And then they will send you, in case you don't have filament yet, they send you a sample roll of filament to test out. This is the cookie cut filament that I was talking about. I want to see if I can show you guys this close up. I love this stuff. In fact, I thought I would show you how to unload this filament that I've got on here and reload. This is, I don't know if you can see it, glitter filament from Cookie CAD. So it's very pretty. I don't think very many places have that kind of filament that Cookie CAD does. It's beautiful. What else was I going to tell you about? Oh, I know. Remember I said I had fat fingers and they wouldn't push on the buttons? This printer is on. Actually, the screen does go dark. If you have a stylus, I don't remember what they call this. I call it a stylus, but it's got this rubber tip that you don't have to worry about your fingers getting in the way and tapping the wrong thing, because this thing works perfectly. So you may have some of these laying around in a drawer. This is a pen. I got when I voted a long time ago, years ago. And this is that little rubber tip, and it will help you if you have fingers like me and it doesn't register when you tap. So this comes in handy. These are just little nippers for my filament. You can use wire cutters. I think these are wire cutters actually. This does not, you don't get this with your printer, so you'll need to find some kind of, sharp scissors or some kind of cutters or snippers for your filament. And you saw me when I was clipping the filament. I clipped the filament straight off. I don't clip it at an angle. I clip it straight off because it feeds right down into this thing, and I want it to be straight so it grabs a hold of it. It's got gears in there and it grabs a hold of it. So I just wanted to give you kind of a quick rundown of this thing. You saw everything in the video, so I won't go over any of that again. But I'm going to take you now into the Bambu Studio software, and I'll show you what I use to print cookie cutters. And you can also take screenshots. Ringo, can you move out of my way, buddy? My dogs are under my feet, and I'm trying to roll my chair around. All right, let me go here to the Bambu Studio software. So basically, this software is super easy to use. It is looks like there's a lot of controls, which I always tell everybody, don't let that overwhelm you. You can do multiple things in multiple places, but you may be able to import from one button, and another button imports as well. So you're going to get into a habit. You're going to be using the same buttons and click and use shortcuts, and it'll become very routine to you. So let's see. I already have a cookie cutter in here. Once you download Bambu Studio, you'll have an account and you'll set it up. It's going to open to this home page. And if you look here, you can see different things that I've opened recently. There's the clips that I printed, took 9 minutes. I'll share that link with you. This is one of the designers here that offers free files. If you go to, let me go to Maker Lab right here. Let's see what pops up. So here's a lot of different tools and things to help you design. It's amazing what you can create here. Here's online models. And this is where I go to download some freebies, and it's really fun. So this is Alex. She's my friend from the Crafty Clay Babes. She makes clay cutters. She's always putting freebies on here. You can download these rollers, embossers, all kinds of fun things are here for you to download. If you want to search, you can come up here. You can even type in, lots of people put cookie cutters on here, but I'm not going to say they're the best designed cutters. I can't say that for sure. But look, you can find some really fun cookie cutters on here to download. You just click on them, you click open in Bambu Studio, and it'll go straight to your printer bed. So you can find some freebies in here as well. I'm going to go back here to my library. These are things that I've printed previously. And if you click more, it will show you more of things you've printed previously. This is a basket weave texture roller that I printed. And you can use this on your fondant, on your rolled buttercream, there's all kinds of uses for all of this stuff. All right, back up here to the Prepare tab. So the Prepare tab is where you're going to see the bed for your printer. I have a trackpad. You can use your mouse, the wheel on your mouse, but my trackpad, I'm just using 2 fingers to move this thing around. I'm going to delete this little cutter off of here. So when you open it, this is what it's going to look like. You can see right up here, I have printer selected, Bambu A1 Mini. When you first open Bambu Studio, after you've installed your printer, you're going to see it up here. It's going to be an option for you to select. This little gear icon, if you don't see your printer, you can add your printer from here. See how I have Bambu Lab A1 Mini selected? And let's see, my P1Ps are selected because I have these 2 kinds of printers. You just click confirm and it adds your printers there. The bed, it should automatically add the bed that you have. And I have found that whether it says smooth PEI plate or textured, it doesn't matter. They both about work the same. But mostly I leave mine on textured. Plus the Bambu A1 Mini comes with this textured plate. So you'll want to make sure you have that selected. Although, like I said, I haven't found it makes much of a difference. For filaments, you are going to choose, most of the time, for any filament, generic PLA will work just fine. So when you click on this little down arrow, you're going to see generic and PLA selected. If you click the little gear icon right here, you're going to see that you can come in here and I have generic PLA selected. You're going to see all kinds of other kinds of filament in here. If you see your brand and your type, like Overture PLA, I have that also. You can click on that, but I find that generic works just fine, generic PLA. If you're using PETG, you're going to have to select that in here. So I'm going to click cancel because I've already got that selected. So look for the gear icons, and if you click on those, you can add things. Then over here, this number 1, this is where you can change the color of your filament and as it shows up on your plate. Like you saw that red light bulb cookie cutter. That's because I have it colored in red here. I can make my filament any color I want. Maybe I want to make it purple because I'm going to switch to that glitter purple. And you can see that, whoops, I got to click here to close this window. And then you're going to see that change to purple. So when I put a new cutter on here, it's going to come in purple. So let's go over here now to your process. Okay, notice I have global selected and I have advanced turned on. If you turn off advanced, you're not going to see as many options in here. So turn on advanced. Then I always use, basically, Bambu Studio is so good. They have so many settings in here already made for you. You don't have to create your own if your cookie cutters are designed correctly. Some designers use different settings for their handle, their wall, the thickness, and all that stuff, the chamfered edge. So I always find that for me, the 20 millimeter 0.20 mm standard, and then you'll see at BBL A1M, that's the A1 mini. That's what I use. I make one change though, and I'm going to show you that. So when you click right here on this little toggle, you need to select 0.20 mm standard. And the one little change that I make, you're going to see here in just a minute. It's under quality. And I come right down here, let me find it, to wall generator. I'm just scrolling down to wall generator. And I choose Arachne. And that makes a really big difference in the walls of my cutter. So I choose Arachne, and you'll see that wall generator now turned orange along with this little arrow. And quality, the word quality turned orange. And I've got this little orange arrow here. That's telling me I've made a change in this setting. So I now need to save this as a new setting. So you click the little floppy disk here. If you're older like me, you'll know what a floppy disk is. And then it's going to ask you to name it. Now, I don't want to save it as copy because I changed the wall to Arachne, and that's all I need to know. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to leave that A1M there because I know it's my A1 mini. I'm going to get rid of that at BBL. And after A1M, I am going to type Arachne. Now, I've already saved this one, so I need to, it'll tell me it's a duplicate. So I'm going to call it Arachne. Let's call it Arachne 2. You can call it whatever you want. But I'm going to click OK now. And then when I click this toggle, you see this is my original setting I had saved where I made that change. But I just named it Arachne 2. So either one of these is going to be fine. I'm going to click this one that I had originally. Now, all I have to do is bring in my cookie cutter that's already been designed, and I can print it. So I will come right up here. Now, do you see this little cube? This is how you can add files. You can also click on this little grid, this plate. You can add a plate. So you may have 5 cutters on this plate that you want to print, but maybe you want to, after you print those, take those off, and you might have 5 more cutters on this plate that you want to print. I have gotten 36 plates in a file before. When I'm printing cookie cutters for Cookie-a-thon, I'll get 36 plates in here and they'll all be full. And I just randomly send them to my 10 printers. If you don't want this plate, you click on the X and it goes away. So these little tools over here you see on the side, you can auto arrange, you can lock the plate. There's all kinds of things, but basically, you guys, I use the same buttons over and over and not that many. So let me show you here. If you come up, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this file pop up. Let me look on my, there's a little bit of a lag. You can also come to File at the top left, and you can click Import and import STLs right here, but I don't ever use that. I will use this little plus, this cube right here, or sometimes I'll just open my files in Finder and you can drag your files into here. And that's the easiest way to do it. And I think that's what I'm going to show you. Let me see. I want to make sure you're going to be able to see it. So let me pull up my Finder. Okay. I think you cannot see it, so I got to pull up my other window so you can see everything on my screen. Okay, there's Finder. So once I open Finder, let me open it again because it's all mixed up here. I have all of my files right here that I've created for Holiday Cookie-a-thon. It's either from clip art that I've created that the instructors have drawn, or from clip art that we have permission to use. And I've created these cutters for you. There are a few of our sponsors who created their own cutters, like Celia and Dr. Susie. So those are their designs, but a lot of these are from what the instructors have drawn. And I am going to have a bonus video for you to show you how to design your own cookie cutters from drawings or from clip art. So you can see I've got my files open here. Now, all I have to do is start dragging them in. See how it's purple now? So there's obviously, these are going to be too big for this plate. You see I've got two on here, and they aren't going to fit because even if I move them around, they're too big. So I can't get these two huge cookie cutters on there. But I am going to show you something else. This is something that confuses people. I'm going to scoot this over, whoops, on this side. If you ever get your bed all wonky or out of whack, you can press Command or Control on a PC, 0, and it'll bring it back into view. I'm going to pull up Finder again, and I'm going to find the minis. And I'm going to show you what happens when you bring in more than one. So here's a mini. I'm going to hold down Command, and I'm going to grab several minis, and let's just see how many will fit. I've got 7 here. I'm going to drag them in, and what you're going to see, let me minimize this, is this question. Load these files as a single object with multiple parts? No, we don't want a single object. They're all separate. So I'm going to say no, and it's going to bring them in all on top of each other. So I can either choose to drag them where I want them, or I can click this button right here, which is Auto Arrange, and it's going to arrange all of those cutters I just drug in. Now, I have room for another one, so I can either drag in another one, but maybe I want 2 candy canes. So I'm going to click on the candy cane and press Command-C and Command-V, and I can duplicate. And that's Control on a PC, though. And then I just added another candy cane, and I'll click Auto Arrange again right here. Now, the reason that it puts these so close together is because when you slice them, and I'll show you slicing in just a minute, your extruder head has to travel everywhere a gazillion times all over. The farther it has to travel in between these cutters, the longer it takes to print. And it's not that much longer. I mean, if you had 2 on each side of the bed, it would be too much distance between. But the closer they are together without touching, the faster your print is going to be. And I need to talk to you also about the cutters themselves. I create a rounded handle, a support wall, and then this is your cutting, your blade. This is a blade that cuts. This is a support wall. It's what I call it. And this is your handle. And then I make a chamfered edge. You can see right here, it's at an angle. See that angle? So say you don't want this support wall. You don't have to add that when you're designing. You can even do a square handle. I just do this because it's more comfortable on the hand. So I will teach you all of that in the design class on the website for Holiday Cookie-a-thon. But cookie cutters are very simple to design when you use the CookieCAD software. It's a CookieCAD, it's an app, and it's so easy. It makes everything super easy. Also, I will show you how to put text on each cutter wall in a tutorial so that you'll be able to do that very quickly and very easily. You can do it here, or you can do that in Cookie Cat as well. So what I'm going to do now, I can either delete each one, or I can hold down Shift and drag and delete all of these. Now with this candy cane, I can click auto arrange, and what you're going to see is it's going to go over to the right side. That is the way it happens with a Bambu A1 Mini, because the bed size is small and the tower, that tall, what I call it, rod, that tall piece is on the side. And so it puts all the cutters, when you're putting just a few, it'll put them over to the right-hand side of your bed, the closest to that big, tall, I forget what you call that. I'm calling it a rod. I don't know. I don't have to know the technical terms. I just know how to use the equipment. So there is your candy cane cutter. And once I come up here and I click slice plate, you're going to see this thing digitally get sliced. Now, here's what slice means. I'm going to come back to me so you can see what I'm doing. So a slice means every individual layer of filament that gets laid down to build up this cutter each time around is called a slice. And your extruder head's going to go round and round and round and round and build this cutter. That's called a slice. So basically, if I wanted to take a very thin knife and cut this apart into layers, each of those layers is a slice. And that's what slicing is. It actually is telling your printer where to lay down the filament. So again, what you're going to see, I don't know if you can, that's probably not close up enough, but here is your rounded handle, the support wall, and here's your cutting blade, and then the chamfered edge, which you can't see. You can see it better in the software. That's what a slice is. I'm going to come back in here into Bambu, and let me go back to, hold on. There we go. And before I click slice, there is something that I did not show you I wanted to show you. If you go up here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Under Bambu Studio, there is a tab up here called Settings, and there is a little bit of a lag, so let me make sure that it pops up. And it doesn't look like you're going to be able to see it, but up at the top, if you click on the word Bambu Studio, maybe, there it goes. There is a real good lag here. Let me turn that back on. Hold on. Let's see. Sorry about that. If you come up here to Bambu Studio and you click on Settings, now you should definitely be able to see this. You can see here, take a look at my settings. You can screenshot this if you want to. I really don't think I've changed anything. It's been a long time, so I can't remember. I may have changed the view. If you look, I just don't know why I have these checked or unchecked, but it works, and so I leave them like this. There is one I changed on the view though, and I don't remember where that one is. I don't have anything checked at the bottom. I do auto backup every 10 seconds. Well, I can't remember where the one on the view doesn't matter. It works. There's 2 selections for view, and I have ortho something, and it's not even on here. But I do have zoom to mouse position also. So those are my settings if you want to take a look at those. And then I'm going to close this, and let me see if I can come across here and, oh, right here under view. See how I have orthogonal view selected? That was one change I did make. Use perspective view is fine, but I choose this one. It lets me get a good view of my cutter and my plate. And that's basically the only other thing I have changed there. If you decide after you've printed you want to export this, I'll show you how to do that here after I slice it. But right up here on this side, and you remember, you want to make sure, you guys, that you have your printer selected here. And if that disappears, that's why, because the word printer was clicked on. Make sure you have the Bambu Lab A1 Mini. If that's what you're using, you can select your printer here. This diameter and flow standard, these are already set for me and I never change them, and I have generic PLA selected. So for me on this filament, I believe generic PLA, if I click these three dots and I click edit, you can see the temperature that I print at is, here's my nozzle. The initial layers at 220 degrees Celsius and my other layers are at 220 degrees Celsius. Let me look here. I'm going to show you how I found that again, because you're going to go, what word should click? So over here by generic PLA, there are three dots. Remember, you can click this toggle and you can click your filament here, or you can click these three dots to edit anything you want to change about this. But I don't change anything in these settings. It's generic PLA. And I'm just showing you that the initial layer prints at 220. It depends on the climate, the weather here, the conditions in my house. 220 works just fine. Sometimes in the summer, I'll turn this down to 215. In the winter, when it's super cold and it's cold in my house, I'll turn it up to 230. But most of the time, 220 works just fine. So that's a good starting point for you with generic PLA. Okay, those are all very simple things for you to follow along with and figure out. Now let's do the slicing. Here's the fun part. I'm going to click Slice Plate. And what you're going to see, if I zoom in here, is this cutter is now sliced. I don't know if you can see the individual layers. Each one of these is a layer of filament that goes down to build up my cookie cutter. As that extruder is going around and around, it builds up this cookie cutter. Now, if you want to see if there's going to be any errors or mistakes, or if you see something that looks weird here, we can check it out, because you can see this thing print digitally. You may be wondering what this white thing is. That is the seam. If you look right over here, I wish I could zoom in on this. I have seams selected because I want to see where the seams are going to be. This is a good place for the seam. It's just fine. If you turn on all these other things, you guys take a look. Remember I talked to you about travel and how when you're printing multiple cutters, how the extruder has to travel back and forth. That's what this blue color is. That's the travel. And that's how your extruder moves. So I don't ever look at that. I leave that off, but I do want to see the seams. For our purposes, for cutters, this is super simple and easy with just the seams showing. Now, it's ready for me to click print. If you'll notice, print plate is now green. So I'm going to click print plate, and it's going to pull up the printer I have selected, Bambu Lab A1 Mini. And let's see, let's click, well, oh, you know what? I think my printer, hang on, my printer went off. So my screen went black. And because of that, my software was not connecting to it. So I had to tap the screen so it would connect. Right here, you can see my purple PLA is selected. I don't have time lapse on. When you leave on time lapse, it does record your cutter printing or whatever you're printing, but it takes more time because every time the camera moves, your printer has a camera. Every time your camera goes to a certain spot, it pauses, not for long, but it pauses, and I think it takes like a screenshot, and it takes a little bit longer. Auto bed leveling I have on. If I'm printing a lot in one day, I will auto bed level at first. It levels the bed for you. You don't have to do a thing, and I'm going to show you that when we click to print here in a minute. But if I print a lot during the day, I will turn this off because it does add a little bit to your print time. This flow dynamics calibration, I leave on. I don't bother that. That is something I think they've just added recently that automatically is set to on. All you have to do is click send, and you can see it's sending it through the cloud service. Check the reason why. Okay. You know, sometimes if I've been logged into my account for a long time, I have to log out and log back in. So I may have to do that. Let's see. Or I can turn my printer off and back on. I have got so many devices now hooked up to my Wi-Fi. I may have too many. So let me, all right, I just turned my printer on again. Turn it back on. Let's try that one more time. Oh, there it goes. It does make, it sings to you also when it starts and when it stops. All right, I'm going to try send again. If this doesn't work, I'll have to log out of my account and log back in. I've had that problem lately. Nope, doing it again. Okay. So let me go back here. I'm going to go back to me, and then I'm going to go back to my software, and let me close this or log out. Let me log out. And then I'll log back in. We'll see if that helps. Sometimes we run into these little glitches, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. All right. Let's try it again. Slice plate. Print plate. Refresh. Oh, now it's not doing anything at all. Okay. Well, I may need to close the software altogether. Let's try that. Let me close this software. It's asking me if I want to save it. I'm going to say no. And start up Bambu Studio again. Oh, you might know when you're live, all kinds of things happen. Okay, here we are. Log in. Continue. And prepare. All right, I'm going to bring that in again. Let's do the mini candy cane. I'll drag that in. Close this down. I drag it in right to the center, and if you click on auto arrange, it's going to move it over to the right and put it in the best spot. Slice again. Print plate, and it's still not satisfied. No. All right. Let me switch to my P1P. See, that plate just got bigger? Let's see. It's not even showing any of my printers, which is really weird. Well, that's not good. However, I did show you how to go through the slicing process and everything. The last thing left to do, let me go back to my A1 Mini. Let me click sync info. Printer not connected. Okay, I'll go to my device page. So it's telling me no printer, which is really weird. Well, it's good that this happened. I guess we can go ahead and bind it with a pin code. All right, can you guys see that? So I'm going to go over to my printer, and let me see if I can. I don't know why it's not showing. That's really weird. It's telling me it is connected. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. All righty. Let me go back to my printer. You guys, I know you can't see my printer here, but here, I can switch it over to this camera and show you what I'm doing in case this happens to you, because it very well may. All right. So what I'm doing is I came over to my printer, and you can see it's asking me to go through the process of binding it again, which is what you saw in the video. I just wanted to show you that. So I'm going to tap. I'm in North America. Oh, I'm going to use my stylus because my fingers aren't working. North America. And now it's giving me this QR code. I got to pull up the camera on my phone. Why isn't it refreshing? It must be something to do with my Wi-Fi. That's the only thing I can think of. But basically, I would go through the same process, and I would scan the code, and it would give me the number to put in there. but for some reason, it's not doing that. Very strange. Well, you know what? Because of that, I'm just going to go back to my P1P, and I've got that on, and let's see if it'll let me print to that one. No, it's not going to I don't know what's happening. Well, of course, when I'm live, this is what happens, and it's telling me my login failed. However, it doesn't really matter because I can go back to this one, and then you're not seeing that. So let me go back to my software. Basically, what I would do is just hit slice plate like we did and print plate, and your printer pops up here and you hit send. And I'm not sure why it's not doing that. It must be an issue with my Wi-Fi. Yeah, my Bluetooth. Okay. And once you hit print, your printer starts going through the process of leveling the bed, and it prints your cutter. Gosh. You know, someone else says they're not able to connect. I'm wondering if Bambu's having an issue right now, because they have had issues before where there is a problem or an outage and somehow it doesn't print. Of course, during my live, it would happen. So that could be it, because it's telling me my login failed on my printer and it won't even refresh. So I don't know. Is anybody else having trouble? I'm wondering if anybody else is having trouble, because it's not showing any of my printers. And I'm assuming it was my Wi-Fi, but maybe it's not. Let me show you how this works. Well, it's dinging at me anyway, huh? Let me show you how this works. If you want to see, if you have, maybe you see a little error in your cutter somewhere, this little tool over here will allow you to drag it up and down. Let me move my screen here. And you can see your your cutter printing in real time here, digitally. See how it's building up, building up? So we are looking at your printer or your cutter getting printed digitally. And if there's an error somewhere in your cutter over here, you can see where that error is happening and what's going on. You guys, in that case, normally I just redesign my cutter. It's very quick. It's very easy. If there's an error, that's what I'll do. But when you purchase cutters from a shop or somewhere online, if you have an issue printing, you could, well, some people just post in the group and post a photo and say what's wrong. But I would suggest reaching out to the designer who made the cutter first and ask them if it is something on your end. Typically, designers who make STL cookie cutter files, they know what they're doing for the most part, and they're giving you a quality cutter. Sometimes it's just a setting in your software, in your slicing program that maybe needs changed, or they may be able to offer you a suggestion. It's not always the file. So, all right. Is it possible without a, Amanda, no, the video is going to be on the website for All Access Pass holders, and it's going to be in the Colorful Cookie Club on the website there. So it's for all the club members and all the All Access Pass holders. Yeah, so it must be, maybe it's Bambu. Server unable to respond. That's weird. I think it's Bambu. I don't think it's me. I've never had that happen before where nothing is responding at all. So, see, I'm doing it again. Let me try one more time to log out. I'm going to go home. That's not really helping me, is it? That's so weird. I don't know. I don't think that's going to fix it. So I just don't know what the problem is. But that's basically the gist of it. When I put this video on the website, I will put this live on there as it's recorded. And I'll also do more tutorials once the Bambu software is up and running again. I will do more tutorials for you, and I'll add them there. They'll just be very short and sweet and show you how to do these different things that I couldn't show you at the end of this video. I apologize for that, but it's not cooperating. Oh, yeah. I don't know. It's not my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is fine because I'm live. It's streaming, and my other devices are all streaming the video here, so I don't think it's my Wi-Fi. I think it's maybe something in this region of the US. I don't know. Strange. Okay, let me go back to me one more time. That's basically the setup of the printer, all about the differences in the printers. That's a little description of the cookie cutters, what happens when you slice, what it means to purchase the AMS light to go along with your printer, how to use the settings in the software to get good quality cookie cutter prints. The only thing I couldn't do was send it to the printer, which I did record a little video that I just put in the Facebook group and on my Facebook page showing you exactly that when I sent it to the printer and the printer started printing. But you're going to be able to follow those directions in your quick start guide. You can watch my video. There's hundreds of other videos out there. Like Bambu has lots of helpful information, and you will be able to print cookie cutters so quickly and so easily. Now, if you want to design your own, though, that's a whole nother set of tutorials. I teach how to do that all the time in the Colorful Cookie Club. You can have, we do have a trial that you can watch some of the videos in the club. It's like a 2-week free trial. And then if you purchase the All Access Pass for Holiday Cookie-a-thon, you have 1 month free trial and you get access to everything in the club. And then, of course, hoping that you'll stay around for a little bit so that I can teach you everything you need to know. We have a members-only Facebook group where I help people as they post. I check into that group multiple times a day so that they don't have to get stuck and not be able to do anything. Like I'm stuck right now with this software. But I don't think it's on my end, actually, because my Wi-Fi is fine. But I'm so thankful that you came today. I hope that you'll consider purchasing the pass for Holiday Cookie-a-thon. It's going to be tons of fun. The website library goes live this Friday, October 31st. You'll have access to every single video tutorial, all the bonus tutorials, all the downloads. I think there's over 70 cookie cutters that I designed, and all the royal icing transfer templates, the recipes, the supply lists with the clickable links and all that good stuff. So, oh, Maker World is down. So it's not me. Ha! I didn't think it was. I've never had this trouble. Is that you, Debbie? 2 screws for the scraper. I don't know oh, there is a scraper file that comes, there's like 6 files. Who asked me that? I can't see your name, but there are 6 files that are pre-printable that come with your printer. And if you click through the little buttons on your printer, they'll pop up, and there's a scraper in there. And I'm guessing that the scraper is printed in 2 parts, and those 2 screws are to put that scraper together, I'm guessing. Yes. There's also a little benchy, a boat for you to print. And there's some other fun things in there too, but I didn't print those because I knew what I was doing and I just wanted to start printing cookie cutters. So yes. All right. Also, Hurricane Melissa, I don't know if that's part of the problem or not. That's so weird. Okay. Donna said hers came back. Let me try it again before I let you go. Let me see what happens here. Once I'm gonna log out. Oh, okay. Thought I was logged in. Log me out. Yes, I want to do that. Prepare. Oh, let's see. Hold on. Wait, it's back. Oh, okay. Oh no, come on. It's synchronizing device information. I'm going to turn this off one more time. We'll try it again. Oh, I'm glad to know it wasn't me. Sometimes, you guys, when things go wrong, it isn't you. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Let me turn that back on again. Sometimes it's just one little thing you need to click. Sometimes the system is down. You just never know. All right, it's singing to me again. All right, it's synchronizing. So strange. All right, let's go to the P1P. Slice plate. Well, print plate. All right, I'm going to go to 4. Now that's my P1P, but I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you. They both print the same way. I don't think it's going to show me this one. Oh, that upsets me. I wanted to show you that one printing. However, let me show you what happens because I want to talk to you about what happens when it goes to print. All right, I'm going to choose 9. I've got that one on. You can see right here, I've got time lapse off, auto bed leveling off because I've been printing a lot. So I'll click send. And then I want to go back and show you the settings for slicing and like how much it costs. And I want to talk about all that according to the cost of your filament. So now this is on the device tab. When it's done sending it, it will show you your device tab. You can see right here is printer 9 and it's busy. So it's got this red circle with the line through it. Now, if I go back to preview, you're going to see my slice again, and I can even go back to prepare, but I want to take you here to preview. The total time for this little cutter is 23 minutes and 7 seconds. The model printing time is 16 minutes, 51 seconds, and the prepare time is 6 minutes and 16 seconds. This is like heating up, the extruder getting in the right place, and the total time is 23 minutes, 7 seconds. It's going to take 6.69 grams of filament. And remember, you get 1 kilogram of filament on a spool. It's a lot. The cost, according to the pricing I put in for my filament, is 13 cents. So that's what it costs to print this little cutter for what I paid for my roll of filament. So that, oh, I just realized you cannot see my screen. Let me go back to that. Sometimes I do that. Okay, right here. Sorry, right here. Prepare time, 6 minutes, 16 seconds. Model printing time, 16 minutes, 51 seconds. Total time for printing is 23 minutes, 7 seconds. The cost right here is 13 cents. It's 6.69 grams of filament. And that's just, well, super duper cheap. If you have the time to do this and you buy a printer, it's going to save you loads of money. You can get all kinds of PLA filament for different prices. However, they're not all created equal. Cookie Cat is excellent filament. I like Polymaker. I use Newmaker. Had some clogs recently with it, but I don't know if it's me or the filament. I'm not sure, but I've not had any clogs with Cookie Cat. So, all right, let me show you one more thing where the pricing is for that filament. Once you're here on generic PLA and you click edit, let me see. I can't remember. It's been a long, long time, but you put the price in of your filament here. I can't remember where, but you put the price in somewhere when you set up your filament, and that's how it calculates that it costs 13 cents. I thought it was, oh, wait, I thought it was right here. Yeah, price right here. So $20 a kilogram, but let's put in, because Cookie Cat is $29.99 or $34.95. So let's just say you buy the glitter filament and it's $35, okay? So let's leave that in there. I'll close this window and I'm going to slice this plate again. And you can see it just changed my cost by 10 cents. This wasn't 13 cents with my Cookie Cat filament. It's going to cost me 23 cents. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't realize I wasn't showing you my screen until I looked over. So anyhow, I'm sorry that the site was down, that things didn't get connected, but I really walked you through all of the steps that you needed to know to see the differences in the printer, to see how the software works, what different terminology means. I'm going to put this video on the website and the library for All Access Pass holders. It will also be added to the Colorful Cookie Club later for my club members, and I will add some more designing tutorials, and I've got a couple other things I want to add there too. So you'll have some bonus tutorials as well. You can find me at thecolorfulcookie.com. You can find me at cookieathon.com. And you know, I don't even think I introduce myself to new people. My name is Nancy Westfall, and I'm the owner of the Colorful Cookie, the club, and also Cookieathon. Thank you for participating today. I hope that we'll see you next Friday and Saturday, November 7th and 8th, for our live event, Holiday Cookieathon, happening in the Cookieathon Facebook group online. It's free those 2 days. And then if you purchase the pass, You get access beginning this Friday to all the files and everything, all the videos, and you have access for the lifetime of Cookie-a-thon. So thank you again, and I hope that I will see you guys when I go live on the 7th. And remember, if you do have questions and you purchase the pass, underneath the video tutorials, you can ask all the questions that you want for the instructors or to me, and we answer those as soon as we see them. Thank you guys, and have a good day. Bye-bye.